Alright, hey traders, John Howell here, officialjohnhowell.com, and in this video, we're going to have a good look at the indices. So let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, let's get straight into this video and about the indices, and I'm going to have a good look at what's actually happening in there as well too. So the first thing I do say, guys, is obviously looking at the Sp500 is you can see we've had like a nice update today, about 2.5% update today. Sort of holding. You can see here we're getting this sort of higher trough. We're sort of squeezing up into this triangle pattern through here, and you can see where we're at right now as well too. So by looking at this chart on the Sp500, we can actually see that we're creating like a bit of a, as you can see here, right, like a bit of a triangle pattern. We are squeezing up into this triangle pattern, and it looks like it's trying to break out to the high side. Now the thing is, guys, is that when looking at the indices and looking at that, I think very shortly, I think in the next couple of days, the announcement, let's have a look here. I think in the next couple of days that the Fed is going to make their interest rate announcement, and I have a funny feeling. Jobless claims. Okay, so it's not this week, is it? No. So probably moving in towards the next week. Then it looks like that. Next week it looks like what's that from? Let's go. Alright, so you can see here by looking at this platform here, I'm looking at this here now, and yeah, so the FOMC. So FOMC is actually next week, and I actually think that there's going to be a lot of up and down indecision until that actually happens, and then we're going to start to get some movement. So in the meantime, guys, what I do see is looking at the Sp500, we can see that the market's trying to break up through here, and it's really starting to try to move to the high side. Now the thing is that if you keep an eye on, and if you keep an eye on the bigger picture, you can actually see that we actually had some major support and resistance levels through there. And you can see how it actually struggled to get past there before, and you can see how it's still struggling to get past there as well. And if I take this off, this top bit off here, you can see how it's just squeezing up. So guys, that to me is still very bearish. Okay, that to me is very bearish. And if I bring this daily chart up here on the Sp500, I bring this daily chart up, the hourly chart, you can actually see that it actually just had the up bar. That was the close. This was the close on Friday, and this was the open on Monday, or basically Tuesday. It was public holiday on Monday. So you can see this was the up move here. It did 3/4, or it did basically what was that? 1.3% in the first hour, and then the rest of the hour it ran up another, maybe another 1% or something like that. You know what I mean? So, and that's the reason why in total, or from the open, it did basically almost 2%. Looking at that there, as you can see, so almost 2%. So it did 2%, basically almost 2%. And then it did like another 1% there. So most of it was actually on the open, bam, to the high side. And then we're seeing that on the open, as you can see, right? So as you can see, we have this support through here, support through here, and the market's running up through there. And as you can see that it's not strong, okay? It's not very strong. And I'm not buying into this up move through here. As I said before, looking down the bottom chart here, you can really see how it's just squeezing up through there. And you're not really getting a lot of upward movement, are you? Well, you're getting some upward movement, but there's not a lot of buying action through there. Yeah, so that's basically that there, guys. Same with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. If I actually just delete everything off the screen now for a minute, let's delete everything off the screen, and we'll start from scratch here on this chart. You can see here on the Dow Jones, yes, we have some major support levels down through here. So there's obviously a lot of major support levels down through there, and that's exactly where it's where it's holding through there. So that's where the Dow Jones is, and you can see here, but also on the On the high side, we actually have this sort of support and resistance level up through here as well too, as you can see. Makes sense? So you can see that's where the overall support, and that's where the Dow Jones is really supporting through here. It's really trying to build a lot of support through here. So even a bit of upside on the Dow Jones actually may happen because we're really finding a lot of support. It came down here. It's really trying to find a higher trough. The thing I do see with the Dow is that again, if I go to like the hourly chart up here, you can see here that it's not strong moves. Okay, we had this big up move for the first hour, then the rest of the hour just sort of dithered its way through. You know what I mean? And you can see here on the hourly chart that this whole level up through here is indeed and definitely a resistance level that the market is holding at. You know what I mean? So you can see up there as well too. So if we do start to run to the high side, then we're likely to run into this area of resistance up here as well too on the Dow Jones. You can see here down the bottom on this bottom chart here once again that we're really holding this support level here quite strong, and we're really holding it strong. It's trying to make a little higher trough. We're trying to get a little buying action through here. It's just going sideways overall. There's not a lot of volume behind today either, so it'd be very interesting. If we do get a bit of upward movement and breaking past this level here, then we've got a lot of resistance coming into play there on the Dow Jones. Moving forward on the Russell is continue moving in through its bear flag formation. You can see Russell here. It had a nice up bar through here. We are at this level through here now. We're still at that area of this sort of area of resistance. You can see last time it actually rejected up there, and that's where it's up there right now. We still are in this bear flag formation. The bear flag formation is basically, you can see it from here to here, right? You can actually see that through there. So I just mute my phone. So as you can see, right, we're still in this overall bear flag, and you can definitely see it on the daily chart as well too. You can really see this on the daily chart. See the bear flag formation there, very clear. We're at this level of resistance, so I'm not buying the upside too much. I just don't see that there. But you just never know. But the bearishness is definitely in play, and same with the Nasdaq too, guys. You can see here by looking at the Nasdaq is definitely is sort of moving its way up to the high side. It's trying to move its way to the high side, and this is where we're at right now. But again, guys, I'm seeing that there's a lot of resistance where we are right now. Had a bit more volume today on the Nasdaq as well too. And you can see that it's definitely trying to run up into this level where it is right now. So, as I said before, guys, there's a lot of buying action coming out of there. We definitely are at a lot of areas of resistance and support. And if I just take that off through there and bring that up through there, that's the level of resistance there on the Nasdaq. You can see up the top here, it's really rejected it through there. And that's where it's going to have problems getting through as well too. And that's what I do see on the Nasdaq there. So the Nasdaq looks a bit more bullish than anything else, obviously because of the bit more volume. But looking at the Russell's creating a really nice bear flag formation. Dow Jones, it's at the support level, but not really much going on there. And also the Sp500. You can see the Sp500. It's really starting to struggle, again. So it's had this big dump. It's spending a bit of time going sideways, and I actually think that the market's going to have a drop down again, and it's going to head down towards these lows through here, at least these lows through here, which is around about that level through there, which is around about the 1800 mark on the S&P 500. So that's what I see, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Remember, success can be yours if you go clamp. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.